We're still going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We feel confident in that for sure.
Nick, I want to ask you if the Cavs have hit rock bottom, but rock bottom seems to be a very movable place right now.
So it's like one of those cartoons where, like, the coyote, he falls off the cliff and he comes to a rest, but then he rolls a little more and he falls off another cliff.
Yeah.
Like, that's been the last few weeks for the Cavs. 148 to the Thunder, that's rock bottom. How about you lose to the Spurs D-League team? That's rock bottom. How about you lose to the Pistons after they trade for Blake Griffin, so they lost the players before Blake gets there? And then you just get embarrassed by a Rockets team that you played very competitively earlier in the year in Houston. One of your better games against top competition of the year. Feels like rock bottom, if for no other reason than LeBron looks more dispirited, than at any time that I've seen him since one very particular moment that was a line of demarcation of his career. Game 5 against the Boston Celtics, the final year he was in Cleveland the first time. He looked so dispirited in that game, there started to be horrible rumors involving a teammate of his and a family member of his, because people were like, what could possibly be going on with LeBron? That's how he's looked this month. That much of in a funk. He said they were in Strugglesville earlier. Now, maybe things change at the trade deadline. Maybe he's just upset at Dan Gilbert running this team, Dan Gilbert wanting to be the NBA's Jerry Jones. But yes, they'll make the playoffs. Yes, I still believe they're going to make the NBA Finals. But the way they've played since January 1, they have been not only awful on defense, the scarier part for the Cavs is they've been a bad offensive team as well. That's never happened since LeBron came back.
Okay, Cece, if you were Dan Gilbert at this point and you had full control, what would you do? What moves do you make?
Well, they have to make a trade. I would try to exhaust everything. My goal is I don't win if LeBron James leaves Cleveland. I can't remember what the overall evaluation of the team was as far as worth. But I know when LeBron left Cleveland the first time, I know Forbes magazine put out a report that the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they went down in value $150 million, him just going out the door. So I'm doing everything I can to try to keep him in Cleveland beyond this season. This season is not that important to me. Because next season, because you say this is rock bottom, no, it's not. It's going to get worse. Nick thought that was rock bottom game 5. That was a great point that he brought up. But game 6 and what happened after that was worse. That was LeBron James leaving Cleveland, which I believe this bad season, I don't believe they'll be in the finals, will lead to LeBron James leaving Cleveland again. And that will be rock bottom. So, no, this is not it. They're not going to be able to get it back together before Kevin Love. I don't think they're going to make the finals. So if I was Dan Gilbert, I would try to trade LeBron James before I lost him.
Well, trade LeBron James.
Yes, I would go to him because they only got 3 days of trade deadline, right?
2, yeah.
2 days. When I get to 24 hours with the trade deadline, I would ask LeBron, is there anything I can do to help make this team better? And I would try to do some of the things that he mentioned, but at the end of that, if I couldn't do that, I would go to him, ask him to waive his no-trade clause.
Well, you would, hold on, if I have this right, you would ask LeBron to opt into next year.
Yes.
There's a player option for next year.
That would be...
opt into next year.
My first thing I would do is ask LeBron, how can I improve this year's team? How can I save this season? And I would get that game plan, which also would include him. I need you to opt in. With me agreeing to do that, I need you to opt in, which I don't believe he would do, which would lead me to, then can I waive your trade or give me the teams that you would like to be traded to so I can accommodate you. I will trade you before I lose you with no compensation.
All right, so while I actually think that's a very interesting idea, and I've done the fake trades that could work. Milwaukee can have a very interesting one where they keep Eric Bledsoe, where they keep Giannis, where they end up becoming the favorites in the East by acquiring LeBron. But here's why that can't happen. LeBron and Dan Gilbert don't speak. LeBron and Dan Gilbert don't seem to like each other. LeBron and Dan Gilbert, neither one ever got over the 48 hours that followed when he left the first time. And Dan Gilbert's out here telling people, man, I got my title. I got the Nets pick.
Yes.
LeBron's out here thinking, man, what is the point of that Nets pick other than to make the team better right now? And by the way, LeBron is right. For the people out there that are saying the Cavs can't trade that Nets pick, no, you have to have a future after LeBron. There is no future after LeBron.
No.
Who has won titles in this league in the last, I don't know, 40 years? You need Larry, you need Moses, you need Magic, you need Michael, you need Akeem, you need Duncan, you need Kobe, you need Shaq, you need LeBron, you need the Splash Brothers, or the one crazy Pistons year. That's your plan. So unless you think that Pistons pick is going to turn into one of the 10 greatest players ever, all of whom I just listed, plus the Splash Brothers, or you're going to have the 1 in 40 shot of doing what the Pistons did, which was beat a Lakers team that was tearing itself apart at the seams.
And that was not a Pistons team that was homegrown.
No.
You know, besides Richard Jefferson, a lot of their players, they came from other teams, veterans who compromised, took a different contract.
Brought in Chauncey Billups. They brought in Rasheed Wallace. You said Richard Jefferson. You meant Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, Rip Hamilton.
I know. They Tayshaun Prince. That is not a duplicable strategy. There is one way to win titles in the NBA. Have a pantheon player. That's it. That's how you win titles. You have one right now. If you are not doing everything you can to win a title while you're guaranteed to have him, then you're crazy. And let me, because I know right now it's very popular to bang on LeBron James. Let me defend him for a moment on this. People are like, why didn't LeBron opt into the deal? They could have gotten Paul George. LeBron, when he went back to Cleveland, signed a 1-year deal because he didn't trust Dan Gilbert. After that 1 year, wait till he signs guys back, brings back Tristan Thompson, signs a 1-year deal again because he doesn't trust Dan Gilbert.
And don't think he's going to pay the luxury tax.
Right. They win the title. So LeBron finally says, all right, I trust you, Dan. I'll sign a 2-year deal. What does Dan Gilbert immediately do the following year? Doesn't bring back his GM, makes no moves. We're 40 hours from the trade deadline. He's done nothing. He is complaining about the luxury tax. You won a damn title. Your franchise tripled in value. You've done nothing as an owner in this league other than be fortunate enough to own a team closest geographically to where LeBron James was born. And you're 48 hours away from squandering your last chance to ever win a title in Cleveland. It's outrageous.
And Dan Gilbert is not connected to Cleveland.
No.
He's not from Ohio.
And didn't he say he's ready to sell the team if he wants?
These things lead to, man, I got to ask LeBron. I got to ask him to trade, give back the no trade. I got to. That's the only way.
Why would LeBron say yes? Can't he choose where he basically wants to go
I would make him say no, though. At least I've asked the question. I would be able to go to my fan base and tell them
that I tried.
Yes, I tried to do everything.
And LeBron could still go wherever he wants next year, even if he is traded this year.
Right.
But there's one reason the Cleveland Cavaliers are not the Cleveland Browns. Because they got lucky and won a lottery in 2003.
Yes.
And because LeBron came back. That is it. And since LeBron came back, what's he done for you? Well, let's think about it. In year 1, his second best player is Matthew Dellavedova. He's in the finals against a team that turns into one of the best ever. Takes him to 6 games, averaging 36 points a game. Year 2, what does he do for you? He gives you the greatest 3-game stretch in the history of the league to beat a 73-win team and deliver a title. Year 3, what does he do for you? Averages a blessed triple-double in the finals to give you any shot to compete. And year 4, how does he start the year? With the best year of his career. And then what happens? Your trade for Kyrie is starting to blow up. You have no general manager. You're bragging in the organization loudly enough that it's written about in the newspaper, I got my title, I got the Nets pick. And we're shocked the most overworked player in sports is a little dispirited. We're shocked that he says, I'm only worried about what I can do. It's ridiculous. And if the team doesn't get better, who's it going to fall on? Not Dan Gilbert and Quicken Loans, that guy. And it's outrageous. And if they do not make this team better in the next 2 days, we know who'll get blamed. We know what'll happen. We also know whose fault it'll be. So I didn't expect to do all that right now, but I'm glad I did.
Two things. One, I'm genuinely worried about you and your heart right now. And Danielle, I'm going to do my best. If something happens, I'm right next to him, so he's good. Number 2, given all that, is there any chance you as faux Dan Gilbert and you as Mr. Emotional right now, big fan, totally get this, is there any shot LeBron returns to Cleveland next season?
Oh, not if they don't win the title. No. CeCe says no because you don't think they can win the title, right?
That's one of the reasons. I just think that LeBron is going to leave.
Too much damage.
I think it's in his best interest to continue his legacy somewhere else because his legacy consists of championships, and that's it. So he's not going to be able to get those in Cleveland partnered with Dan Gilbert. Take your partnership somewhere else.
If they win the title, maybe.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.